Oh, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Fightins Final. And how sweet it certainly is to be back with you on this Sunday afternoon, and a lot to unpack here today. The Phillies, first and foremost, come out of this game with a 1-0 win over the Pittsburgh Pirates, a pitching duel that potentially could be a preview of some epic pitching duels that might come in the future. Paul Skeens went the distance in the loss. God, that guy's a good pitcher, man. Paul Skeens is the real deal. And he was faced by the major league debut of the Phillies' former number one overall, or number one pick back in 2020, 15th overall. Mick, welcome finally to the major leagues, Abel. And he, to his own right, this was definitely pitching. And then there was, of course, some news that broke before the game, pitching related. We're going to unpack all of that as well. But the story, main story today is Mick Abel. Long overdue, his debut in Major League Baseball. But maybe with all the adversity that he faced throughout his 5+ seasons in minor league baseball, dealing with a lot of setbacks in mechanics, a lot of setbacks potentially with his ego, has made him a more well-rounded person, able to deal with adversity better. Well, time will tell on that. But at least through this game, his debut tied the Phillies franchise record in strikeouts for a rookie debut pitching performance with 9. I don't know why the hell they didn't. Rob Thompson didn't go back out with him. I've given up on trying to figure out this manager. I would have rode Mick Abel's hand until I couldn't ride it anymore. He was shutting them down. Rob Thompson turned it over to the bullpen by committee, which even got more committee earlier in the day. And the Phillies were able to hold on 1-0. But Paul Skeens, lost in all this is Paul Skeens. This dude is the real deal. Goes 9 in the loss, or I guess 8 in the loss. 3 hits, a run, it was earned, 9 strikeouts, and went 102 pitches through 8. It's a little on the high side. But give me Paul Skeens any day of the week. Mick Abel with the win, his first ever 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, struck out 9, 84 pitches through 6 innings. Kerkering came in and pitched a wonky 7th inning, but he held on. Strom and Jordan Romano. That's right. You might want to get know that name pretty good because based on the story that happened earlier in the day, and I'm holding off on that one because that's the Pisa Resistance for me. Jordan Romano gets the save, his 5th. Again, you might be getting used to saying that. All in all, the Phillies with the 1-0 win, the sweep of the Pirates, their 3rd series sweep of the season, and now it's off to Colorado and the Rockies as the Get Well Tour 25 continues on today here at Citizen Bank Park. Way better bite on Romano's slider, not even close to being debatable. He's pitching with a little bit more zest, oomph. Was there some things to be said about the injury? Him coming back from that injury that kind of cost him a lot of 2024. Was he, trying to get to know himself a little bit better as a pitcher again through spring training and then in the first part of the regular season? I know they did some work with him with his mechanics, and it has definitely helped. So, Steve, you're going to need it. You're going to need it because obviously earlier in the day, Major League Baseball announced that Phillies relief pitcher, because I'm not going to call him a closer because we don't do that here. But Phillies relief pitcher Jose Alvarado is suspended for 80 games and playoff or postseason ineligible. So he can return game 147 of the season or 127 of the season. Yeah, 127. He can come back and pitch in that game, the 127th game this year. But he is ineligible for postseason in 2025. So thanks a lot. The Phillies said that what did Dombrowski say? It was because he was taking the medicine he was taking for weight loss. No, that's not why he tested positive. Because he took steroids is why he tested positive. So Jose Alvarado, no one ever, you notice how it's never, you know what? Yeah, you got me, man. I was taking steroids. Shame on me. You caught me. Now I'm going to do my time. It's always, well, it was because I was taking this supplement, or I was trying to lose weight, or my dog ate that page. It's never, I messed up. I'm trying to get ahead. I'm trying to cut some corners. You busted me. Sorry. Well, whoops. No, it's always this goddamn crazy stories about why you tested positive for a performance enhancing substance. No, man, you were trying to get the edge on your opponent any way you possibly can. It's okay to admit that, but no, it's because he's trying to lose weight. But whatever, he's gonna have a lot of time now to eat a lot of Cheetos as he waits out an 80-game suspension. That will make him ineligible for play until game 127, and he is not going to be eligible at all for the postseason. So thank you, Jose Alvarado, and I hope it was worth it. Now the question goes, and this actually might be a positive for the Phillies, because we don't have roles in the bullpen. It's an easier shoe to fill, because it's not like he was the only closer we had. It was like one of three. So maybe this is the reason why Rob Thompson doesn't use a bullpen by committee, or why he uses a bullpen by committee, in cases people get suspended for steroid use. And then you could just mix and match. But Jordan Romano, Ryan Kirkering, who I don't think is capable of pulling down some late inning heroics, something doesn't look right with him. And I think it's just a matter of time. Well, I think we've already passed that matter of time. The Phillies are going to need another arm out there, another late inning guy, because we don't do closer. I don't know if you put Mick Abel out in that position, because I was actually all about bringing Mick Abel into the bullpen earlier this season. But now that I see him, and potentially with a hole to fill in the starting rotation with Aaron Nola, I don't know if you use Mick Abel in the bullpen. I think you continue to ride him with the hot hand in the starting rotation until at least Nola comes back. But do the Phillies plug the hole internally, or do we go out and we trade for a late inning guy? Inquiring minds want to know. How about the Mick Abel day for the Phillies? And absolutely yes, Star Wars. And I don't know if you guys were noticing, but on his left shoulder was not the IBX patch is on the right shoulder, right? On his left shoulder, if you looked on his left uniform sleeve, there's a tiny little logo, a little patch, and that is the MLB rookie debut patch that will be part of probably his updated Topps Chrome 2025 card, 1-of-1 relic potential auto card. It'll be the card that fetched Paul Skeens $1.11 million last year. I don't know if Mick Abel's card will be that, but that little MLB rookie debut patch, you notice a lot of rookies will have it. They'll take it off that, they'll cut it out of that uniform, stick it in his new card, or his card this year for his rookie debut card. So be on the lookout for that. Sometime probably in the latter part of the summer, early part of like September is when those cards will hit the open market. Be looking for the Paul Skeens, but the Mick Abel patch relic card. Good sweep. Yep. And yeah, I lost in all this, all the stories of the day. The Phillies actually get to sweep their third of the year against opponents. And now they're heading out to Colorado to continue the Get Right Tour 2025. Keep on shining, Mick Abel. Great job. Now, does Mick Abel get on the plane and fly to Colorado? Because right now, the next spot in his rotation would be Saturday. If they're going to continue on with this, does he get a job? Does he get a start against the A's on Saturday? I say, why not? You got a opportunity. Mick Abel's going to pitch in a minor league park. He's got a lot of experience doing that, and it's going to be against the A's. So I think Mick Abel's earned at least one more start. And then, of course, if he dominates there, how can you justify sending him back down to AAA? So a lot of good questions that have to be answered by the Phillies. Mick Abel looked very good, extremely good. He's young and he pitched. He young and he pitched this good. He's not really that young. He's like, what, 22 now, 23? Spent 5+ seasons in minor league baseball after being drafted out of high school in 2020. He's like 25 or 23, 22, 23. He's not really that young. That's the problem. Or maybe not. Maybe that's the good thing about Mick Abel. His career was definitely, I don't know, a lot of obstacles in it. And he had to overcome a lot to get here. And he's done it. And I started taking notice of Mick Abel probably around the halfway point of last year. Because up to that point, I mean, I've always known he was there, but he was an afterthought. He was a bust. I mean, the label of bust was all over him. And but around the half point of last year, he really turned it around. And we focused on him a few times on the Down on the Farm segment last year. Giving up runs and hits, but boy, was he striking a lot of people out and eating a lot of innings. And that's eventually what got him to this point. So that's a good thing to see. And I can honestly say that you heard it here first with Mick Abel. If you were watching last season, we talked about him a lot. As a matter of fact, he was our AAA pitcher of the year in the Phillies system last year on the Down on the Phillies farm segment. So he might have come out of nowhere for a lot of people, but not this guy. I've been waiting for Mick Abel for a long time, and it was great to see him pitch today the way he did. Now, can he continue? Yeah, we'll see. And by the way, today is Sunday. And once we get there, we are going to do our Down on the Phillies farm segment this weekend. So make sure you're hanging in there. By the way, 2 hours. A 2-hour baseball game today. After the game, Mick says he wants to go back to the minors. Yeah, I'm sure he said that. And I'm sure he meant that too. Beautiful game for Mick Abel. Absolutely. Don't you know? You know? The hardest man to get a hold of. Good show so far, brother. Go Phillies. Go Claude Giroux. I don't know why the hell you bringing that up. Claude Giroux. Come on, Frank. What the hell, man? Good series win. Great series win. Great series sweep by the Phillies. What a debut. Yeah, keep gushing over Mick Abel, you haters. Michael Papernick sweep. I hope Abel isn't expendable in the trade for relief pitcher help. And I mentioned that earlier in my on the Twitter there. You know, now with the fact that we got Alvarado, essentially, let's face it, he's gone for the year. I mean, I don't give a, you know, when you come back off your 80-game suspension, we can't use you in the playoffs. So you're no good to me. You're dead to me. All right. You're dead to me. So I need to go find help in the back end of the bullpen. And where do you think they're going to find that help, Michael Papernick? Dave Dombrowski is going to start pulling the trigger on some of these prospects. I guarantee you, not to bring them up. Otto Kemp can't close. But people are going to get traded soon. Fast, quick, and in a hurry. Probably after this road trip. And when they get back from the road trip, depending on where they are, because this is not what you would call a make-or-break road trip for this team. They're battling the dogs of the dogs in Major League Baseball over the next 10 days in the Rockies. No offense to the Rockies and the Sacramento A's. It's just the way it is. Wear it. So I don't know if there's going to be any major changes with the roster or with the franchise in that period of time, but he's going to be on the phone. They can't. The bullpen has been struggling already. You take Alvarado out of the equation, there's got to be a trade made, and it ain't coming from Lehigh Valley. The replacement, unfortunately for Alvarado, is not resigning down in Lehigh Valley. They're going to have to go outside the system, and they're going to have to bring somebody in. And how do you think they're going to afford to do that? Somebody's getting traded. Now, I don't know if Mick Abel, I don't know if you do that, but you're looking at some of the, and again, the Abels, because I'm putting Mick Abel back in that category of the untouchables. And that was another thing. A year ago or a year and a half ago, I wasn't saying that about Mick Abel. Mick Abel was a definite touchable, but he's back in that untouchable group for me. But Abel, Crawford, Miller, Painter are still the untouchables, but everybody else is going to be definitely talked about. Otto Kemps of the world, the Raconis Juniors of the world, players like that are going to be talked about. And we talk about them a lot on this program, and we're going to talk about some today, some more. I don't know if there's no other way Dave Dombrowski can go but that way to bring in some help. He's not finding legitimate back-end bullpen help on the waiver wire. That's not happening. He's going to have to make a trade. Now, whether or not he can pull a trade in May for a bona fide dare I say closer, but I don't know if he could pull one. I don't know if teams want to listen to that right now without being it way overpriced. I don't know what you do. Do you hold on to the end of July when teams are like, yeah, you're right, we're out of it, we're looking to make a deal? Or do you try to like fill the hole right now? I guess they're going to probably try to do it internally first. And hopefully that works, but you're going to have to go externally. Alvarado's replacement's not coming from the farm. It's going to have to come from somebody else. And what is the asking price for that is what I'm concerned now about. Well, Robbie told Abel in the face that he was getting one game only. You know what? How can you say that? How can you say that, man? How can you bring him up to the minors and set him back down? I'm not saying they won't do it. I just don't know how you can do that. I really don't. He's only 22. 22 is old. Old. He's been in professional baseball since 2020. You know that, Star Wars? I don't care if he's 22. He's been in professional baseball since 2020. And this is his first MLB start. He's old. He is old for a 15th overall draft pick. All right? He's old. Ricky is watching. I know you're watching. You're always watching. Mick was able. Right before the deadline, Dave makes some moves. Probably. If not, he's going to overpay drastically for help. Otto Kemp will be a trade piece. Yeah, you might be right, Al. You might be right. But with a player like Kemp, you better make the move now. Because you don't know how it's going to, how that will come out long term. For Otto Kemp, that is. Arnold Chapman's in 19 games. Arnold's Chapman in 19 games. 27 strikes. Only 1 year deal with Boston. Might be had. Yeah, might be had. But again, people are going to overpay and overvalue. What number was he wearing? 40, I believe, right? Number 40 he was wearing today. Mick Abel, big time game today for the Phillies in a 1-0 win. Let's go to the bullpen. Let's go to the bullpen. Yeah, let's go to the bullpen. Let's go to the box score. Phillies the Pirates, no runs, 6 hits, no errors. Phillies 1 run, only mustered 1 run against a hell of a pitcher in his own guard, Paul Skeens, and 3 hits. Offensive standouts for the Phillies, it was Nick Castellanos, Max Kepler, and I guess Brandon Marsh for not getting doubled up. And there you go. There's your offensive standouts for the Phillies in this game, as nobody was getting anything on Skeens. Harper Harper got a hit, though. That's good for him. He did strike out once, though. For the Pirates, once again, when you score no runs and you manage 3 hits, there's nobody really to talk about. McCutchen with the hit, Reynolds with a hit, Horowitz with a hit, and Canario with a hit. Pitching, we already went over it pretty much. A dominant pitcher's effort today by both teams. Paul Skeens goes the distance pretty much for the Pirates in the loss. Scoring summary in the 5th inning. What was it? Castellanos started the inning off with a single. And then he moved from first to third with the Kepler play. And then Marsh would ground into a fielder's choice with 1 out, not getting doubled up, allowing Castellanos to score. And there you have it, your lone run of today's game. Phillies were 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position, left 3 on base. Pirates were 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position and left 5 on base in the losing effort. And there you go. 1-0 Phillies with the win. And they are now a 29-18. And I am 14-5 as your host of the Fighting Smile. That's it, man. 14-5. I ain't going back to the minors either, man. 14-5. Woohoo! As I continue to spank that ass on a day-to-day basis. And I'm going to get another shot at it here tomorrow, because as we move this thing out to Colorado, I got you on Monday night. I don't know how the hell I ended up getting 3 straight, but you know what? I'll take them. That's 3 wins. I got you on Monday, Steve Wood Tuesday, Pat on Wednesday, and Mike on Thursday. That is your Rocky series in a glance. So let's go now to the Broad Street bottom line. Broad Street bottom line for me today was pitching. It was all about pitching today. Not only from the Phillies with Mick Abel, but also from the Pirates and Paul Skeens, and also from Jose Alvarado and trying to lose weight. It was all about pitching. And today, that is why you draft pitchers, right? Those an old-fashioned pitcher's duel is what we saw. And I kind of thought this game was going to kind of play out like this when I saw it on Friday, that it was lined up like that. We had not only Paul Skeens from the first time ever the Phillies seen him, but the fact that we're going to debut Mick Abel. Now, of course, the Alvarado thing came out of nowhere this morning, but I kind of had an idea this was going to be an old-time type of pitcher's duel. But obviously, I think for those that were in attendance at the bank today, they saw what is truly beautiful about the game of baseball. Not the steroid use, by the way. That's not what's beautiful about the game of baseball, but Paul Skeens and Mick Abel potentially showing off a future rivalry. That might mean something for both these two organizations as we moved into the future of both the Phillies and the Pirates. This could be what a marquee matchup in 2029 looks like. But it had you kind of reminiscent of the days of Ryan and Carlton. You know, when I was watching this game, I was thinking back to simpler times, especially when Mike Schmidt was up there, you know, doing some of his commentary. So this was a pure baseball day. This was something pure about baseball on the heels of something impure about baseball with the Jose Alvarado steroid thing. And so you should hopefully take away from this game today faith in the sport of baseball, because you were able to witness something like we saw between Skeens and Abel, and not discouragement because of, once again, a player gets busted for cheating in Jose Alvarado. And I'm not buying the whole, I don't care. I don't care what he put in his body. He knew, you know, I don't know what you're never going to sell me on the fact that a grown ass man don't know what he's putting in his body. You're never going to sell that to me. So Jose Alvarado got caught cheating, and it's going to hurt this team. But today, in the shadow of that, you saw something pure, simple, and beautiful about the sport of baseball in the battle between Paul Skeens and Mick Abel. And that today was my Broad Street bottom line, was in the midst of all this dreck and lying and cheating, it's what makes you fall in love with the game in the first place. And some younger fans who might not never witnessed that before witnessed it today. So that is why baseball is what it is. And I was glad I could see it and be part of that. And there you go. That is my Broad Street bottom line. And that was brought to you by the Wraparound here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network with Pat Bernard every Friday at 10:30. Be sure you're checking that out. And also, Pat has his hand in the Attacking Third on Thursday nights at 9. And this morning on Sundays at 9 a.m., it's the PNM and the AM show. So there's my Pat Bernard plug of the day. But there you go. How to bring up Crawford and trade Marsh while he's worthy. Trade Marsh for what? What the hell you think you're going to get for Marsh? I bet you can get. Well, here you go. Let's trade Marsh for Logan O'Hoppe, Al. Well, you want to do that one? Huh? You want to trade Marsh for Logan O'Hoppe? Because I do. I don't even think you could do that. Oh, no. Who the hell are you getting for Brandon Marsh, man? Come on. Craziness, man. Like, so we're going to dupe some other team into what they duped us into with that fraud. Get the hell out of here, Brandon Marsh. DFA his ass, man. That's what you do. How do you have 3 days in a row? Because I'm in charge of this network, goddammit. And if I want to have 162 days in a row, I will. Star Wars, that's because I'm the boss. That's right. It stops and ends with me. I don't know, actually. I don't know how it happened. I set the schedule for the show, but I have no clue how I ended up on 3 days. I know a lot of people could have needed time off this weekend, and that's probably how it's set up, but just started that way. So at the Phillies game yesterday, I was there where Eagles chant and the fans were booking the Eagles chant. Huh? I think I figured it out, Joe. Good. I'm glad they were doing it because, and by the way, that's right, you were there yesterday. I hope you had a good time. Good. I'm glad. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous to have an Eagles chant at a Phillies game in May with a team that's in this thing. I'll never understand that. All right, let's go back over here now into the show. Got a lot of things still to do, and I'm cashing in on some time. Let's go around the bases. All right, round the bases today on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Games that are currently still in progress. It is 3-2 Tigers over the Blue Jays in the top of the ninth. Bottom of the ninth. It is 3-1 Reds over the Guardians, top of the ninth. It is 5-2 Brewers over the Twins in the bottom of the eighth. And it is 2-1 Kansas City over St. Louis in the bottom of the eighth. And it is 5-1 the Cubs over the White Sox in the bottom of the seventh. Top of the second out in San Francisco, it's 1-0 Giants over the A's. Top of the first in L.A. It must be the battle of rival. It definitely is rivalry weekend. It's 3-0 Angels over the Dodgers. It is 0-0 Rockies over the it's 1-0 Diamondbacks over the Rockies in the first. It is 1-0 Seattle over or San Diego over the Mariners. Top of the first, and later tonight it's Yankees Mets wrapping up their series. Games that are final: Astros 4-3 over the Rangers. The Braves 10-4 over the Red Sox. It was the Nationals 10-4 over the Orioles, and it was the Marlins 5-1 over the Rays. And of course, in Philly, it was 1-0 Phillies over the Pirates. And there's around the bases for this glorious Sunday afternoon. As I mentioned, the Phillies will be heading immediately to Colorado starting tomorrow for a 4-game series. Sorry about that. For a 4-game series against the Rockies, Christopher Sanchez against Kylo Freeland tomorrow night in the Mile High State, as they will kick off a 4-game set, which will then take the Phillies to Sacramento against the A's. As again, the Get Right Tour for 2025 continues. And make sure you're here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network, because we'll have you covered. I'm going again tomorrow. Game 3 of my 3-game series with myself. And on Tuesday, it's Steve. Wednesday, it's Pat. And Thursday, it's Mike. Yeah, I don't know how it worked out that way. It does happen from time to time. But I'm telling you, trust me. The others will make up some ground. They will, because there's a really busy time coming for me real soon. So you're going to be seeing less and less of me on the Fighting's Final. I can trust. I can. You can count on that. So Mick Abel is the only the third pitcher in baseball history to have 9 strikeouts in his major league debut without giving up a run, having no walks. Yeah, it was a historic day for him. Of course, he also tied the Phillies franchise record with major league with pitchers making their debuts in strikeouts with 9. And for the life of me, I don't know why they didn't go back to him in the 7th inning. Was he laboring at all? I don't think he was laboring. It's the Pirates, for guys. Like, if there's a team out there that you'd want to throw your rookie pitcher back out there with, it's the Pirates, right? At least get him the damn record, man. I mean, you don't have another debut. And if Rob Thompson and the Phillies are only going to give this kid 1 start, the hell does it matter if he pitches 7, 8, 9, 6? What does that matter? So either someone's lying to you that he's not going to only be here for 1 start, or Rob Thompson is a complete buffoon, which I know that's not quite pushing the rock that far down the road. I get it. But, if there's one negative thing for me to take out of this game, it was the fact that I would have loved to see him gone out there for the record and maybe have him pitch a complete game, or try to pitch a complete game. His family was there. A beautiful day for baseball in Philadelphia. I definitely would have loved to have seen that. But it is what it is, and the Phillies got the win, and more importantly, and Mick Abel pitched really well. All right, it's time. It is Sunday. So that means let's head on down to my second favorite segment. My very first favorite segment that I do is my card review I do on my show. But this is a close to number 2. The Down on the Phillies Farm segment that we do every Sunday here on the Fighting's File, regardless if I'm hosting or not. Typically, I'm hosting, but it'll happen this summer when I'm not hosting. But it'll always be on Sundays, and it is our weekly walk through the Philly minor league system. And we take a look at some players, some pitchers. We take a look at the teams, and we just kind of update you on the comings and goings of your Fighting Phillies minor league system. Last week, of course, with the FCL Phillies, the rookie league team debuting, that meant all 5 levels are now in action. So now we can do this thing the right way, and we can go level by level, starting with the bottom and working your way to the top. And let's get it rolling with the aforementioned FCL Phillies. 2-3 for the week, 3-6 now on their young season. Your player of the week is Aurelio Furibus, which we've actually profiled him on the Final Word, I think last week. He's a catcher. 5 games this week, 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 homers, and 6 RBIs on the week for the young kid. The Phillies might not have much catching up in the major league ready pool right now, but they definitely got some things happening lower in the system with Eduardo Tait in Clearwater, and then Farabus now with the FCL Phillies. Keep an eye on this young man. He's a young 17-year-old kid as well, but you got to be. And as I said, we profiled him on the Fightins on the Final Word. I think it was last week or two weeks ago in our Of the Night segment. I think he's 19th overall in the Phillies system as a prospect, and he had himself a pretty good night or a good week last week for the FCL Phillies. Your pitcher of the week was JT Etheridge. 1 game. No, he didn't win it. He went 4 1/3. What is that? 1 earned run. I can't even see this stuff. 8 strikeouts. He walked 3, had a 2.08 ERA. Man, whoo, that was rough. I couldn't even see that. JT Etheridge was a draft pick last year of the Phillies. And yeah, there you go. There's your FCL Phillies in a week. 2-3 for the week, and now 3-6 overall on their young season. Let's move on up to Clearwater for low A. And some of your more interesting players in the Phillies system. For the week, the Thrashers were 2-4, and so far on the season, they're 20-18. Griffin Burkholder, an outfielder, 4 games, 3 hits, 3 runs, a homer, and 1 RBI. Burkholder was a 2023 draft pick of the Phillies as he is making his descent. Oh, no, it was last year, wasn't he? Yeah, I'm sorry. He was a 2nd-round pick last year. And he's already starting to kind of make a name for himself as he's bashing his way a la Pat Burrell through the minor league system right now. He's got a lot of Pat Burrell in him, a lot of similarities with maybe a little bit more of an athletic game. But if you want to comp a player, past or present, it would be Pat Burrell, in my opinion. He's got the power of Burrell, but he's also got a little bit more athleticism, which makes him even that more dangerous. Keep an eye on Griffin Burkholder, who will probably be on his way to Jersey Shore probably pretty soon. And then your pitcher of the week is Ryan Drumbrowski. 2 games, 2 wins, 10.1 innings. Was at 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 11 strikeouts, 2 walks for a 1.74 ERA. Drumbrowski was a draft pick of the Phillies last year out of the University of Pennsylvania. That is correct. A Quaker is part of the Phillies minor league system now. He was picked late in I think 5th or 6th round last year. This is the 2nd time Ryan has been profiled on Down on the Phillies Farm segment this year. Keep an eye on him too, as the Phillies keep coming at you with all this talent. 2-4 were the Threshers, and 20-18 for the week or for the season so far. Let's go up to the aforementioned Jersey Shore Blue Claws. Pierce Bennett, 2nd baseman, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 RBI was your player of the week, or your fielder of the week, position player of the week. Your pitcher, Aaron Coombs, 2 games, no wins, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 11 strikeouts, 4 walks, and a 1.29 ERA. 7 innings, he struck out 11 in 2 games. That's absolutely amazing. 1-4 were the Blue Calls for the week, 13-22 on the season. Coombs is a 2023 draft pick, and Pierce Bennett, also out of Wake Forest, a 23 draft pick. As starting to stockpile that talent, man. And the Blue Claws, again, were 1-4 for the year. Not a really. It's been a struggle for the Blue Claws, and now we're going to start moving players around. So I don't know where that sends a team like that, but 1-4 for Jersey Shore, 13-22 so far for the season. Up to Reading now. They've actually had their first good week of their season. They've been really struggling, but Henry Mendez is your fielder of the week. He's an outfielder, 5 games, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 homers, and 5 RBIs. Your pitcher, Gabe Moser, 1 game, 1 win, 6.5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, and a 1.35 ERA for him. The Fightins were 4-2 this week. Their first, I think, over 500 week of the year. Now on the season, Reading is 12-23 as they are trying to get their act together down there. But Hendry Mendez is definitely somebody to keep an eye on. He's I believe he's the 20th ranked or somewhere in that area ranked prospect in the Phillies system. And he's another outfielder, speedy outfielder, center fielder variety. Could play left as well. But, I think this is the second or third time we talked about him on this show as well. So keep an eye on Hendry as we move through this. And let's finish our trip to the Valley and the Iron Pigs. And we got 2 Major League cast-off players coming in as your fielder of the week and your pitcher of the week. Buddy Kennedy, your fielder of the week. Second baseman, 5 games for Buddy last week, 9 hits, 7 runs, 3 homers, and 6 RBIs. So that's what I call our week, as he was one of the driving forces in the Iron Pigs' domination over the Syracuse Mets last week. It was all over the place. Your pitcher of the week was Nabil Christmet, a game, 1 win, 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, and a 0.00 ERA. As again, both these players have been around Major League Baseball and are not necessarily Phillies prospects, but do provide Major League depth. And you definitely need it, especially at the AAA level. And that is what right now is setting the Iron Pigs off from a lot of different teams in the International League. They got basically a healthy mix of young prospect players and MLB veteran contributors on that team. There's not too many, I hate to use the word, but slugs there, but there's, you got prospect players that the Phillies are obviously pushing through the system, and they're being offset with a bunch of MLB quality guys that are just not, good. It's not good enough, let's face it, to play every day in Major League Baseball, but they've been there and they can do it. And that is what's setting the Pigs apart from everybody else in AAA at this particular moment in time. 4-2 they were for the week, 30-14 on the season as they're running away with the first half of the International League. But there you have it. There's your Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs and everybody else as we are finished with our trip through the Phillies minor league system on our Down on the Phillies Farm segment. Oh, man. I think Jose cut corners on weight loss on the offseason and had residual amounts in his system. Steve, do you think for a minute, now you might have, but do you think for a minute he didn't know he was taking a banned substance? Do you think? Or do you think everybody over the age of 18 should be held legally accountable for what they put in their body? When does Painter next start for the Pigs? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday or Wednesday? It'll be at home, I believe. Tuesday or Wednesday. Patricio Burrell was a quality power hitter. He was, and Griffin Burkholder. Remember that name, Steven? I know you probably know who he is, but he's got a lot of Pat Burrell in him. A lot, and what I mean by that is, if you look at him, he reminds me of Pat Burrell. Now, again, he's a lot more athletic than Burrell. He's actually has a glove. He can play defense. Burrell was a statue in the outfield, as we all remember. But he's definitely got the bat of Burrell. And keep an eye on him. And I fear that he is one of those players that could potentially land on this, be part of a, trades that could really derail our future. And it's all starting to come together, man, down there. I mean, Mick Abel today was a beautiful sign of the tree that fruit on that tree starting to fall off. We've been waiting for years, and I don't mean 5 years. I mean, 15 years for something quality to come popping up at that minors, and now we got one, potentially a couple more right behind him. This is a great time to be excited about the future of Phillies baseball. And I don't mean the future as in October. I mean the future 3-4 years from now, when we have our own players, our own homegrown talent to supplement some of these contracts that were given out. Do not freaking milly-willy trade them away on a possibility that you could ride a closer to a World Series championship, because we don't even use a closer the right way on this team. So what scares me the most about Jose Alvarado and his steroid use, what scares me the most about Aaron Nola's injury issues, is that we're going to derail what we spent and what certain people have spent a lot of time and money and effort in trying to rebuild, and that is the minor league system. On the Talking Philly, on the final word, Jesus Christ, on the final word, I've been doing a segment over the last few days called "The Worst Trades in Phillies History" as per me. My top 10 worst trades in Phillies history. And the common theme with all the trades that I've gone over so far was this team, the Phillies, trying to offload aging talent to try to stay competitively good with young talent, and they missed on everything so far. We're starting to hit on our own people. Don't rip it away from me, please. I can't go through another 15 years of minor league depletion. I can't. And we can't as Phillies fans. We shouldn't accept it. Buddy Kennedy should be up without question. The problem is with Buddy Kennedy is where does he play? Buddy Kennedy can't sit on the damn bench, Steve. I mean, he's not that type of player. And that's the thing with Crawford. If they push Crawford up, or if they push Kemp up, these guys got to play every day. And Buddy Kennedy is blocked. He's a second baseman. He's blocked by Stott. You know what I mean? Having Buddy Kennedy on Buddy Kennedy's not a bench piece to me. He's a player who's got to play every day. And unfortunately, he falls in between both worlds. You know what I mean? He's a dominant AAA guy who plays every day, and he's not a dominant MLB guy who doesn't play every day because he's not good enough to play every day. So I agree he's got to play, but where do you play him? And would he be better off being moved to somewhere else where he could play every day at the major league level? I mean, he already passed through waivers once. Apparently, he's not that coveted. Buddy Kennedy was not good when he was sent up at the beginning of the year because he doesn't play every day. Didn't Buddy Kennedy make the team out of spring training? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I would be more willing to roll the dice with the young dudes, especially on the mound. And I agree 100%. I'm not. I don't subscribe to the technique of trading away all your young players for an opportunity for some old veteran guys. I don't subscribe to that. I would trade Sosa and roll with Buddy. Yeah, I mean, you can make a case for that, Steve. I agree. A little bit more ups. I mean, they're basically the same player. I mean, who would you want? Who would you be more willing to accept late in the game? Because that's where, I guess they would both have to be. I don't know. I mean, Kennedy can play every infield position, right? I mean, he could play everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Would I be willing to trade Sosa? Well, who would get you more value? I mean, Buddy Kennedy already passed through waivers and didn't get claimed. So, hell, Cody Clemens went through waivers and got claimed. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. But I know I don't want to trade away my young players for a potential closer, which I don't know where Dombrowski's going to fix this or where he's going to find, because he's going to have to find somebody. This bullpen cannot handle. They're going to have to bring somebody in. And I don't know where you find that person is. And I don't know, more importantly, what it's going to cost to bring that person here. And I am not willing, especially in a bullpen with no roles, to bring in a true closer, because they're not going to close. And, it scares me a little bit. And Alvarado, thank you. Thank you for thinking of yourself and being more concerned about the name on the back than you are about the name on the front. I really appreciate that, man. Shows me a lot about your character. He'll be eligible to return in game 127, but will not be eligible to pitch in the postseason because of this. Banned or suspended because of steroids, baby. Or maybe I shouldn't. I'd be less critical. Let's call it, I guess, the political word is it performance enhancing drugs, PEDs? Is that what we're calling it? Either way you look at it, pretty much of a slap in the face to every Phillies fan out there. All right, everybody. That's going to wrap me up, but a positive day. As I mentioned on my Broad Street bottom line, in the midst of the nastiness of Jose Alvarado's suspension for cheating, you also get the purity of baseball when you're watching a game like today between Paul Skeens and Mick Abel, an old-fashioned pitcher's duel, and a potential marquee matchup of what could be the future. So great day to be a baseball fan, great day to be a Phillies fan, and a great day to be a fan of the prospects that I am, because I finally got an opportunity today to see one of them, at least on this day, work out. And Mick Abel, hats off to you. And here's to a great career. And I hope you don't go back to Lehigh. I hope you're up here and this is it. This is it. This is your spot. You'll find a way to work your way into the rotation, or you'll find your way into the bullpen, one or the other. But here's to keeping Mick Abel in Philadelphia until he proves otherwise. And Phillies get the win. They get the series sweep. They get to go on out to Colorado and continue with their get-right moves of this year against the Rockies, and then on to Sacramento against the A's. So, yeah, move on past him. He isn't the team. He's part of the team. He's part of the team. I'm not going to move on past him because he's part of the team. And he was selfish by his act against the team. And now it's going to cost the team. That's the world I was growing up in, man. It's all about the team. And got nothing to do about the person. It's about what you're going and how it affects the team. And it was a selfish move. And I'm glad he got caught. Now, what are they going to do about it? How are we going to fix it? The world awaits Dave Dombrowski's response. I await it. Please don't trade away our minor league players. It's taken a long time for us to get to this point. But Phillies win today, 1-0. And it's on to Colorado and on to Sacramento. And was that third sweep of the season? And don't forget all the great quality program here on the network. Tonight, I'll be back at 10 a.m. 10 p.m. Let's try that one. Well, I'll be back at 10 p.m. Not 10 a.m., but 10 p.m. tonight for the final word with Matty B. Your final destination in your Philadelphia sports day. Make sure you're there. And then tomorrow night, do I have this on here? Why did I put this graphic in here? Tomorrow night, big night on the network. I will be no final word tomorrow night, but the Birds Blast with Kyle Quinn returns as me and Kyle will unpack free agency, unpack the draft, unpack the schedule release as we'll get the season 6 of the Birds Blast rolling. That'll be tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So cannot wait for that. If you think Alvarado is anything to worry about, you're focusing on the wrong thing. If I think Alvarado is, are you kidding me? Who is this guy? Broken Bell Network. Must be some sort of millennial. Must be some sort of millennial who really doesn't understand what team sports are. Probably never played sports. Doesn't understand what team sports are. Doesn't understand that each person on a team sport holds a critical role within that team. And every time you do something that negatively impacts yourself, it also negatively impacts the team. And last time I checked, Phillies don't have too many closers on the roster. And the fact that we use a bullpen by committee means that we rely on multiple people to be the closer. So once again, his actions reflect upon the team. Just saying, man. Sometimes it works out like that. Sometimes it's not an I world. Now, again, I don't know who you are or how old you are. You might be like 17, 18, 19, 20 from the other side of the track type generation. And I apologize for that. But in the world I grew up in, you're directly held accountable for what you do to the team. And today the Phillies got weaker as a team. And that's the reality of it. Now, what they do going forward is also the reality. So it's up to Dave Dombrowski to fix it. Always going low. Figure. We're talking about always going low. Talking reality, man. Always going low. Talking about reality. Is that low? Talking about reality. I hope I don't get to the old man yelling at the sky days. I hope that doesn't happen to me. Hope the good Lord takes me before then. But you know what? When you come from what the ultimate team sport that I played on for 30 years, you learn a thing or two about teamwork. You learn a thing or two about how each member of a team affects each other. And I don't know how many times you put yourself in a position where you placed your life in another man's hands, but I've done it 6 times. And I was goddamn sure that my team was ready. And then everybody did their part. Now, also part of teamwork is picking up for when somebody does let you down. So maybe the Phillies are going to find their way through this, but it's concerning when you don't have a closer. But yet, then again, it's not concerning because you have multiple closers. So it's interesting. We'll see what the Phillies do from this point forward. But today, the Phillies got weaker as a team. And there ain't no way to sugarcoat that because somebody cheated. All right, that's going to do it. You guys have yourself a great day. Make sure you're back tomorrow at 10 or tonight at 10. Live in another man's hands. Live in another man. No, I put my life in another man's hands. I've been to combat 6 times, dude. I've killed people. And you're damn right, I had a team around me that I made sure was watching my back. So I have not played Major League Baseball, but I played a pretty big team sport in life. So again, man, know something about your enemy before you start attacking me. All right? Know where I came from. Have some idea. That's going to wrap me up. Tonight, 10 p.m., I'll be back. And now we go. All right? 10 p.m., the final word with Matty B. Everything else that's happening on this network. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great rest of your day. We will talk later tonight. And one more thing. Harry K, what you got?